Hi everybody, Christopher here, the ThePediNurse. Okay, first let me start off with this. Wow, the response I got from last week's announcement of the ThePediNurse was amazing. Thank you to all of my friends, my family, my colleagues, and my mentors for all of the love and support that you offered me. I am really honored. And from the bottom of my heart to all of you, thank you so much. Okay, now we're moving on to my top 5 tips for new pediatric nurses. Number 1. Children are not little adults, right? Therefore, as pediatric nurses, you need to understand the clinical differences between children and adults. Elements like vital signs that are different per their age range, or how a child, in what stage of developmental they're in. We call those developmental milestones. Guess what? There's even a difference in assessment techniques. In school, we learn least invasive to most invasive. And I always teach new pediatric nurses a new assessment technique called piggies, those are your toes, to nose assessment. So piggies to nose, because typically younger children don't like to have their face touched, and so we start with their cute little toes. This will really help you understand how a child may experience their illness. Number 2, physical differences are really not the only unique aspect of caring for a pediatric patient. The pediatric nurse must really be skilled in communication. Oh, and guess what? I'm working on a video on some communication tips for pediatric nurses, so be on a lookout for that one. But know something about what current kids are into. Watch some cartoons for Pete's sake. Learn about cool toys. This is your opportunity to be a kid again. Really embrace it. Dive head in and get your Sesame Street on. Jeez. Do not really try to reason with unreasonable people. Most of the time, kids who are sick are pretty unreasonable. So remember when you were in nursing school and you were taught to avoid closed-ended questions like yes or no questions? Well, I see that we slide back into that with children. We ask them if they want to do this. Well, I could tell you that that is not going to work. Children who are typically sick will always choose the no option. So instead, empower your pediatric patients to decide between maybe option A or option B. Either way, they're still going to have to perform their given task. For example, I always approach my children with, you can squeeze the medicine or I can squeeze your medicine. However, you still have to take your medicine. Number 3, 2, 3, I can count. You are going to be the bad guy. And guess what? That is okay. We have a job to do. Yeah, I promise that not a single PD nurse likes to place an IV in a screaming child, or withhold food to keep their NPO status, or even force them to take their icky oral medications. It's not fun for us. But guess what? We do it, and we're okay with being the bad guy because we know that it is good for them. Number 4, get really good at your differential equations. All medications and fluids are weight-based in pediatric nursing. And I've kind of noticed that for newer nurses, they seem to struggle with this, partly because there are a few ways to calculate these ranges. Choose one and stick with it. By doing this, you will always ensure that your child's therapies are within the safest dosing ranges. Number 5. Told you, get your Sesame Street on. Today's episode is really brought to you by the word holistic. I know that was really cheesy, but it's true. Pediatric patients and their encounter need to be holistic. You know, I one time had a nurse tell me, oh, I could probably do pediatrics, I just don't want to deal with the parents. And the patient-parent-nurse relationship is extremely important. But I actually find that not to be so difficult. Parents just want to be heard. Parents are scared. Their child is more sick than what mom and dad care can be given. So if you just give your parents a place to be heard over the concerns of their child, encourage them to participate in their child's care while their child is in your care, and just really confidently address their child's needs, parents will always be some of your best advocates when it comes to caring for these kids. Well, that's everything. These are my 5 top tips for pediatric nurses who are starting out today. Do you have any other tips that you'd offer new pediatric nurses? Put them in the comments below. Also, if you want to discuss something on this channel, put that in the comments below too. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to continue to know more about the amazing work of pediatric nurses, hit that subscribe button. Well, until next time, bye.